Imagine your first day at a new high-stakes job. You're nervous, eager to prove yourself, but from the moment you open your mouth, you're met with snickers and mockery. That was the reality for a young woman who joined the armed forces, carrying not just her gear, but a thick regional accent that made her an immediate target for ridicule. Short pause. From the very first roll call, the other recruits mimicked her speech. "Can't understand a word she's saying," one would whisper loudly. "Is she even speaking the same language?" another would joke. During drills, in the mess hall, even in the barracks after a grueling day, the teasing was relentless. It was isolating and demoralizing. She felt like an outsider, judged not for her ability, but for the sound of her voice. A sound that reminded her of home, of family, of everything she was fighting to protect. She could have quit. She could have let their words break her spirit. But she chose a different path. She channeled every bit of that frustration, that hurt, into her training. While others were socializing or complaining, she was putting in extra hours. She ran further, studied harder, and pushed her body and mind to their absolute limits. She knew that words were cheap, but actions were undeniable. Her focus narrowed onto one specific area: marksmanship. The shooting range became her sanctuary. There, her accent didn't matter. The only things that mattered were a steady hand, a calm breath, and an unwavering eye. The instructors started to notice. Her groupings were tight. Her scores were consistently at the top of the class. The same recruits who had laughed at her accent now watched in silence as she hit target after target with flawless precision. Then came the final qualification day. This was the ultimate test, the one that would separate the best from the rest. The pressure was immense. The air was thick with tension and the smell of gunpowder. One by one, recruits took their shots, their scores respectable, but not extraordinary. Then it was her turn. As she stepped up to the firing line, a few of the old whispers returned, but they were weaker now, laced with a new sense of uncertainty. She blocked it all out. She raised the rifle to her shoulder, the familiar weight a comfort. She breathed in, then slowly out. In that moment, there were no jeers, no accents, just the target in her sights. Crack! The first shot hit dead center. Crack! The second, right beside it. She moved through the course with a fluid, practiced grace that was almost hypnotic to watch. When the dust settled and the final scores were tallied, a hush fell over the entire range. The lead instructor walked over to the scoreboard, checked the numbers, and then checked them again. He turned to the stunned crowd of recruits, a look of disbelief on his face. Not only had she passed with a perfect score, but she had shattered the base's long-standing shooting record, a record held by a legendary sniper for over a decade. The laughter was gone. The mockery was replaced by a wave of stunned, silent respect. The recruits who once made fun of her accent now looked at her with awe. They saw not a girl with a funny way of talking, but a warrior, a sharpshooter of unmatched skill. She had proven that where you come from doesn't define what you can achieve. It's your character, your grit, and your refusal to let anyone else write your story. She didn't have to say a word. Her actions had spoken louder than any insult ever could. Thank you so much for watching. If this story inspired you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content. We'll see you in the next one.